Ukraine's top advisor Mykhailo Podolyak backtracked his words after saying that India and China had weak intellectual potential. Vergil Parba reports.
Mykhailo Podolyak, a key advisor to Ukraine's President Zelenskyy, faced criticism after commenting on India and China. He initially said these countries had low intellectual potential, but later clarified his remarks, blaming Russian propaganda for the uproar. In an interview, Podolyak had criticized India and China, saying they lacked the ability to understand the consequences of their actions, which he attributed to their low intellectual potential. His comments stirred controversy, especially in India.
В чем проблема Индии, Китая и так далее? Проблема этих стран в том, что они не анализируют последствия собственных шагов. Слабый интеллектуальный потенциал этих стран, к сожалению. Да, они вкладываются в науку. Да, Индия послала сегодня луноход, да, и уже ездит по поверхности Луны. Но это не говорит о том, что эта страна точно понимает, что такое современный мир. Эти страны сегодня на этой войне зарабатывают. Эффективно зарабатывают. Точно так же, как Турецкая республика. И это, в принципе, национальные интересы. Красиво звучит. Мы соблюдаем потребности наших национальных интересов. Но получат они возможность купить дешевле сырье.
Podolyak responded to the criticism on social media, saying his words were taken out of context and distorted by Russian propaganda to create conflict. While he didn't deny making the comments, he sought to provide context. He clarified that countries like Turkey, India, and China were rightfully seeking global roles. He stressed the importance of stability, predictability, and adherence to international law on the global stage, which he believed Russia was undermining. Podolyak urged great powers to work together for a stable world. The remarks of Zelenskyy's top aide drew criticism from many Indians on X, formerly known as Twitter, while the Foreign Ministry of China demanded clarification. Previously, Ukraine Foreign Minister had criticized the G20 summit for not inviting them and said that the event held in India was nothing to be proud of. Reporting, this has been Vergil Parba, SMNI News.
Russian President Vladimir Putin raised the possibility of military cooperation with North Korea's Kim Jong-un. Daniela Paulita reports.
Russian President Vladimir Putin and North Korea's Kim Jong-un have talked about possibilities for a military cooperation in a rare and highly scrutinized meeting between the two leaders that was held recently in Russia. Putin and Kim met on Wednesday at the Vostochny Space Center after the latter arrived via armored train. To recall, the United States has accused Russia of buying weapons for its war on Ukraine and warned that any help would violate UN resolutions. Meanwhile, Putin has also accepted an invitation from Kim Jong-un to visit North Korea. According to Russian media, Putin said he and Kim held their talks at the Vostochny Cosmodrome to help North Korea develop satellites. Kim, meanwhile, declared that he will always stand together with Russia against imperialism, and that Russia has risen for a sacred fight to protect its national sovereignty and safety against hegemonic forces. It can be remembered that North Korea has twice attempted to launch its spy satellite, although it failed. Still, North Korea said it will continue developing such a satellite to strengthen its military surveillance system. This has been Daniela Paulite, SMNI News.
The Prime Minister of Poland insisted that his government will not permit the import of Ukrainian grain into the country, firmly opposing any such request. Jean Domingo tells us more.
Polish Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki has stated that Poland will not allow Ukrainian grain into his country's market. This announcement comes as the European Union discusses whether to continue restricting Ukrainian grain imports. On Tuesday, the office of the Polish Prime Minister announced that the country will continue to ban imports of grain from Ukraine, even if the European Union does not extend its embargo beyond September 15. This ban concerns the imports of 4 agricultural products, which are wheat, corn, rapeseed, and sunflower seeds. Morawiecki made it clear that the interests of Polish farmers come first, and they won't allow cheap Ukrainian products to harm their agriculture industry. In a video address he posted on social media earlier this week, the Polish Prime Minister said, and I quote, "The EU is now considering whether to maintain the embargo. I'll tell you how it ends. Poland will not allow Ukrainian grain to flood us. Regardless of what the decision of Brussels officials will be, we will not open the border." End of quote. The European Parliament is set to debate the expiration of the EU's ban on importing Ukrainian grain in several Eastern European countries, including Poland. This ban was put in place earlier, essentially agreeing with the individual bans imposed by these nations. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy has expressed disappointment, calling it a betrayal of European values if the EU doesn't lift the ban as promised. In response, Ukraine intends to seek arbitration at the World Trade Organization. The dispute has its roots in the EU's initial support for Ukraine during its conflict with Russia by lifting quotas and tariffs on Ukrainian exports. However, this backfired, leading to protests by local farmers in Eastern European countries who face tough competition from Ukrainian imports. While the ban prevented Ukrainian grain from entering these markets, it allowed for the transit of these goods through their territories. However, transportation costs affected the profits of companies that own Ukrainian farms. The study of the Oakland Institute called War and Theft, the Takeover of Ukraine's Agricultural Land, revealed that foreign interests, either directly or through foreign registered companies managed by local oligarchs, control much of Ukraine's farmland. Reporting for Newsline World, this has been Jean Domingo, SMNI News.